Emperor Nero is one of the most evil rulers in Roman history. His name is often linked to madness, cruelty, and the Great Fire of Rome. But was he really as terrible as people say? Well, yeah. Nero ruled Rome for nearly 14 years, and his time as emperor was filled with drama, scandals, and major events that shaped the empire. In this video, we'll look at Nero's life, from his early years to his rise as emperor, the key events of his reign, his conflicts, his downfall, and how historians view his legacy. Nero was born in 37 AD as Lucius Domitius Ahenobarbus. His mother, Agrippina the Younger, was a powerful woman from the ruling family. His father died when he was young, and Agrippina later married Emperor Claudius, who adopted Nero as his son. This made Nero the heir to the Roman throne. Agrippina was determined to make her son emperor. In 54 AD, Claudius died. Many believed Agrippina poisoned him to secure Nero's place as ruler. At just 16 years old, Nero became emperor of Rome. At first, his rule was guided by experienced advisors, including the philosopher Seneca and the military leader Burrus. They helped keep Rome stable, and Nero was seen as a fair and generous ruler in the early years. But as Nero grew older, he started making his own decisions, and things began to change. He distanced himself from his mother, who once controlled much of his role. Eventually, in 59 AD, Nero had Agrippina killed, removing her influence completely. This marked the beginning of a more ruthless and unpredictable period of his reign. As Nero took full control, his rule became more extravagant and controversial. He focused on arts and entertainment, seeing himself as a talented musician, poet, and even actor, something that Romans found shocking for an emperor. He spent vast amounts of money on grand performances and festivals, often forcing nobles to attend his shows. One of the most infamous events of his reign was the Great Fire of Rome in 64 AD. The fire burned for days, destroying much of the city. Many people believe Nero was the one who started the fire to clear space for his grand palace, the Domus Aurea, and according to some sources, he watched the city burn while playing the lyre, but this is most likely a myth. However, Nero then, to shift the blame, accused Christians of starting the fire. This led to brutal persecution, with many being executed in gruesome ways. Nero also increased taxes to fund his lavish lifestyle, which angered the Roman elite. He ordered the deaths of many senators and nobles who he saw as threats. His behavior became more erratic, and his popularity among both the aristocracy and the army began to decline. At the same time, revolts started breaking out in different parts of his empire, signaling growing unrest. In 68 AD, the governor of Gaul, Gaius Julius Vindex, led a revolt against him. Though the uprising was crushed, it encouraged others to rise against Nero. The Senate, once fearful of him, now saw an opportunity to remove him from power. Support for Nero crumbled as the Roman military turned against him. Even the Praetorian Guard, his personal bodyguards, abandoned him. Realizing he had no allies left, Nero fled Rome. He took refuge in a villa outside the city, accompanied by a few loyal servants. As soldiers closed in to arrest him, Nero knew his fate was sealed. According to historical accounts, he considered begging for mercy, but ultimately decided to take his own life. His last words were said to be, "What an artist dies in me." With Nero's death, the Julio-Claudian dynasty came to an end. His passing led to a chaotic period in Roman history known as the Year of the Four Emperors, where multiple rulers fought for control of the empire. In the end, Nero's life was a story of cruelty, excess, and destruction. He began as a young emperor with potential, but his reign quickly spiraled into a nightmare of paranoia and brutality. He executed his own mother, persecuted innocent people, and wasted Rome's wealth on his own pleasures, while the empire suffered. His rule was marked by political murders, corruption, and neglect, leading to widespread resentment and chaos. Ancient historians almost universally condemn Nero, and for good reasons. His reckless actions weakened Rome and set dangerous precedents for future rulers. Ancient historians like Tacitus and Suetonius painted him as a cruel and irresponsible ruler who cared more about the music and theatre than governing. They tell of his extravagance, persecution, and even him setting the Great Fire of Rome. Even today, his name is a symbol of tyranny and madness. His reign serves as a dark warning about the dangers of unchecked power and the destruction it can bring. And so, that was the story of Emperor Nero, one of Rome's most cruel rulers. If you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more history content.